It is Sunday. And you know what that means? It means it's a good day to step in to a debate cage.
Ooh.
The rage in the cage, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them, JFB.
We are going to have the news. And our main event, I can just simply put this up. Whoop, not that one.
That's for after.
That's for after. Holy cow.
Oh.
I don't see it. Did I miss it? Oh, no, there it is. Right there. Rage in the Cage, the debate. Episode 1. Because I feel like this is going to be an ongoing event for us. Anyways, news. Rage in the Cage. All this and more on this week's edition of Dynamite After Dark.
Rob, Dynamite After Dark. It's the all wrestling show.
Oh, I got to wake up.
Oh.
Coming to you live from the FN Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown.
It's the all effing wrestling show.
With your hosts, Canada Dry, and the JFB.
Tell me how it's priced. Tell me if the item is for sale. And tell me.
Good afternoon, good morning. If I don't see you till later, keep my supper warm. Good evening to you all. We are live in the effing studios for this week's edition of the All Effing Wrestling Show. I am, of course, your host and moderator. I am the JFB guy. I'm the Gene from Boston.
And I am, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly cracker son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Woo. This man right here, right above me, that caddy corner right there. There are good VPs. Then there are evil VPs. And the evilest of AFW's VPs, that man right there. Just Graham, how the hell you doing, brother?
I'm outstanding. It's me. It's that EVP here for some friendly banter. Friendly, I emphasize.
Now, JB already accidentally showed at the beginning of the intro, but I just want to give a good shout out to my friend Molly. It's her birthday today. So happy birthday, Molly. Woo! Happy birthday. Woo! Come on, baby.
So
I hope you have a great day, Molly.
Last night, I don't know how many of you out there in TV land are huge horror fanatics like I am. I'm a huge horror fan. Last night I watched on Shudder. Now I don't know where it is on other spectrums of other countries, but here in the States, it's on Shudder. It's called Late Night with the Devil. And basically what it is it's kind of like this found footage. It's a talk show of this guy who is able to he has two guests on that are able to communicate with this spirit, this evil spirit. It is one of the best horror films I have watched in life.
Wait, so is this legit? Like, is this a story or is this something that's actually happened?
It's completely made up.
Oh, okay.
The way it's shown is it's shown as an actual episode of a talk show, like a late night talk show in the 70s. So all during this.
Oh, so it could feel like it's real.
Yeah, so it's all this like satanic panic that was existing in the 70s and the 80s. Like, your kids are playing D&D, they're going to worship the devil. No, but this is such a well done well made, well edited film. I just wanted to give a shout out to the filmmakers. They're Australian. They did an absolutely freaking
It's
amazing.
White Night with the Devil, mate.
Late night with the devil and the dingo ate your baby.
It wasn't the dingo that ate your baby. It was the devil.
A devil. So, anyways, before we get to the Rage in the Cage, which is honestly the big reason why everybody's tuning in, as of right now, I select to you. We start with what we normally start with. The news. Mr. Isaacs knows. I'm telling you, man, that Late Night with the Devil is just. And apparently, Shane, where's my link, you bums? We're going to start with the news. We'll get to Haney's crap later. The news! From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB. So, for those who are wondering, what's Buff Bagwell been up to? Well, Buff Bagwell actually is a tag team champion again. That is right. Him and Big John Dalton, who wrestles for Memphis Wrestling in Memphis, Tennessee, Buff Bagwell is a tag champ with Big John Dalton. So, congratulations. Congratulations to Buff Bagwell. Holy cow. Buff
Now,
Bagwell.
if you guys want to come in for the news and talk about it, you're free to phone in. The link's in the podcast chat.
Yeah, get the link in. Come on,
you're free
join
to-
up. So congratulations to Buff Bagwell. Of course, WWE trademarks a new show called WWE Vault. Now, not sure if it's going to be a digital show, if it's going to be on television show. We're not really sure yet. They just filed the trademark. I'm going to ask the both of you, what would you like to see from this show? Captain Canucks, I'm going with you first.
I don't. Oh, look at Molly said coming on just to say hi and thank you.
Hey, hi, Molly. How you doing?
Happy birthday, Molly.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Molly.
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know the vault. It sounds like it's gonna be like kind of like WWE classics, maybe.
Yeah,
Like the best matches that the people look back at.
I like that. EVP Joe.
I agree with Canada Dry. I wouldn't mind seeing like modern day wrestlers sit down and watch some old school matches.
Yeah.
Maybe ones that influence them as kids to be wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Ah.
Joining us for the news is Lookit. He's actually got a decent ear. We can actually see him.
Do you like my ears?
Oh, yes, they're beautiful.
Are you back in Florida?
Yes.
So he's in Florida where they actually have a decent internet connection.
We actually have a decent internet connection, yes.
We can actually come on the show.
I can pick up my ears now. There we go. Oh, how you all doing?
Holy shit, it's Haney in view.
So,
how's your trip in Florida going, Haney?
It's good. It's really warm at the moment, so we're having a down day because, yesterday was, what was it? I think it was about 98 or something like that. So
Florida weather sucks.
Yeah, it's weird because there's thunderstorms as well, so it's warm and it's got that weird sort of clammy feel, at the moment. So
about 4 p.m. every day, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
Hellscape known as Florida. If the alligators don't get you, it's going to be the weather.
Yes.
So Athena got hurt during Ring of Honor tapings. She hurt her left leg. She was limping. She needed assistance to get out of the ring. It's a tough loss. If she goes down, what do you guys do? Do you guys keep the belt on her? Or do you guys give it away? Canada Dry.
Depends how long she's out for. Because I think if she's out for just a short amount of time, you can work around that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's a month, you can work around that. But any more than that, I think you got to crown a new champion.
Let's talk to EVP Joe.
As much as it sucks, I say just take the belt off of her, and when she comes back, just put her on the main roster. She's done all she can in ROH.
Yeah.
I think she'd be an amazing addition to this women's roster that they're building on AEW.
518 days. That's her reign. Alex Haley, my God. Tell us
If you get injured, you're done. Drop the belt. This whole holding on to the belt because you're injured doesn't make sense. That's not what champions do. Champions come back, and win it. Not
they could always do the interim thing as well. What they've been doing.
Stay away from the interim thing as well. If a champion can't defend the belt, then what was it? They drop it essentially. That's my view. I'm not a big fan of the whole interim stuff. It's quite muddy.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, CM Punk's over in the WWE. He's the real AEW champion. So what was it? The lineage is all broke. So what was it? Yeah. Drop the belt. She did well with it. It's time for it to come up and take that belt off that stupid little girl, Toni Storm.
So Zelina Vega, for those who don't know, not following WWE, they're having their annual King and Queen of the Ring. She is the defending Queen of the Ring, but her injury prevented her from entering into the tournament. Now, when she was announced, WWE already knew she was hurt. They already knew she was injured. So what they did was they went ahead and put her name in there and then took it out. It kind of reminds me of the NFL where everybody is questionable and you don't know whether or not they're going to play. So it screws with your fantasy football because trust me, I deal with this drafting anybody from the Patriots where everybody's questionable. Let's go with Shane.
That's a good point. The Patriots are facing the Jags in London. I think it's September. Which team do you support?
I mean, I'm going to support the Patriots because I'm a New England boy.
Oh, Jaguars!
I'll say something quickly about that, but I also want to actually go back to the Athena thing for a second because there's something I want to mention. But as far as the Queen of the Ring has just turned into a flop and a joke. Doesn't matter who you put in there. Now you've got too many changes. The fact that they're doing it on house shows make it an absolute joke. It's lost all appeal to me, the whole thing.
All tournaments, me and Canada Dry had this argument online the other week. All tournaments in North American promotions are not worth paying attention to.
It's nothing like a New Japan. Nothing could touch New Japan tournaments.
My position was I thought the Continental Classic was really well done.
And I asked him to name three moments. What was it that happened in that tournament? And you couldn't name one.
3 moments. That's not enough time.
Anyways,
I just want to ask Shane something. There's a rumor going around that Caleb hurt himself on the pole last night doing your adult services.
That's why it's a good possibility that the Shane All Experience Adult Services might be going bankrupt just because we might have lost him.
Is that Caleb injury?
I don't have another feature act I could put in right away, so I'm kind of
he was doing some crazy things on that pole. No wonder he got hurt.
Oh yeah, he was able to go upside down and do the slide down.
You know a lot about these. Even that move is pretty impressive.
So, is it possible to bring up the last topic though quickly?
Which one? It was Zelina Vega?
No, Athena, the replacement. Is it too soon to put the belt on Billy Starks?
No.
Well, she's North American champion, or what is?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
TV champ.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah,
I think you need to let her establish that belt.
Well, because I'm thinking too. At the same time, the whole ROH thing is supposed to be their development now / NXT. She's been kind of on a meteoric rise, even in the indie scene. She's been tearing it up.
Yeah.
And just the way she won the women's the TV title, that was a pretty awesome, hilarious way. And even they sold it backstage with her parents saying, "Oh, we're disappointed how you won that." And she's like, "No, I won. I don't care," or whatever. Like, I'm almost thinking it might be not too soon to just put the world title on her.
You know who I would send down to ROH for a bit, just to get her name more established as a star. I would put Sky Blue down in ROH, and I'd put that belt. I slapped the belt on her.
That wouldn't hurt either. That actually wouldn't hurt either. That'd probably be the secondary option if you're not going to use Billy in that light.
this suggestion is probably going to give Aaron like a full on sort of hard on.
Okay, I'll stay on the watch just that part then.
But what was it, Natalia? What was it? No, Natalia. Natty's what was it? Contracts due up in the next couple of weeks in the WWE.
Yeah, it's
Have her debut in ROH and win the title.
Yeah, I mean, she's be a good person to what was it? Put the girls and train them up with, you know. So
Yes, that's not going to give me an erection because
but
that's
then
the
again,
wrong
if you
Natalia.
say that, you could also say that you could also make the same bet for Camille. Then, if we're gonna say Natty, you could also say, "Well, hey, get Camille's feet hot in that division first, then send her up to the main roster." Because let's face it, there's a lot of main event things already going on in the women's division, so she just get lost in the fold if you bring her right now, right?
I honestly think Sky Blue is the best option for that.
I think that that's not an option that wouldn't hurt either.
Yeah.
So,
I just don't see why you would do that with Sky Blue when she's got a belt on her, you know. No, Sky Blue. Yeah, sorry.
Billy.
I'm confused there, sorry.
all right, guys, I got to start getting ready. I'm going to meet up with a buddy for lunch. It's taking off to the States soon. So,
All right. Eat some for me,
Wait a
buddy.
minute.
Yeah.
I'll eat double.
All right.
Yeah, I was getting Billy in that round the wrong way, sorry. That Florida Heat.
So Ivar, you're wondering what happened to the Viking Raiders. Ivar is officially injured as well. So Eric and Ivar are both gone indefinitely.
And Eric's wife, Sarah, right?
Yeah.
She's
Yep.
pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all three gone. So we'll see them, I'm sure.
Such
by
a shame.
rolls in.
Such a shame for a wonderful gimmick of those people.
So WWE has a lot of news going on this week. One of them is this: WWE is expecting over 180,000 wrestling fans to descend upon Sin City for WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. This could possibly be the biggest WrestleMania with legitimate numbers, not this bullshit that they did in the Silver Dome for WrestleMania 3, where it was like 460,000 people, including people in the bathroom, are here for WrestleMania 3. No. This could legitimately be the biggest crowd to ever see a WrestleMania. Keep in mind that for 2026, Saudi Arabia says they want either WrestleMania or SummerSlam. Possibly one of the largest WrestleManias of all time.
We're gonna get a redo of Korea where they forced everyone to go to the wrestling show.
So it looks like Hanny could be a better Regal. Isn't that right, Hanny?
Yep. Most definitely.
Full agreement there. He is the
Alex Hanny.
Better than Steven Regal.
Deep thoughts with Alex Hanny.
So, Captain Canuck, your turn. Thoughts on the number they're predicting for WrestleMania for next year, and the fact that Saudi Arabia wants to get a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam.
Yeah, we've talked about this on other shows. I don't think you're going to put a WrestleMania there. I think you could put a Royal Rumble there though, which would still be epic.
I mean, that wouldn't be that bad.
I don't see a WrestleMania. Like I don't see it.
I don't
but
think.
For Las Vegas, it'll be interesting if they can, if like they could get all the people there, but I don't think that card could compare to this year's card.
I mean, if it's going the way they're saying it's going, which is going to be The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, I personally don't want to see that. Like it doesn't. There's nothing that can convince me that Cody Rhodes needs to face The Rock in order to be a legitimate superstar.
Well, they figured out that they painted themselves in a corner with Cody Rhodes winning the U.S. title, so it doesn't look like he's gonna get the U.S. title now.
Yeah. Well, you know what you're gonna do. EVP.
No, that was addressed on SmackDown on Friday night.
Yeah. What do you think? What are your thoughts, Mr. EVP Joe?
So, I think they'll be able to hit those numbers in Vegas because it's Las Vegas. It's very much a destination place here in the States for people to travel to. Now, I think it would be a crying shame if they put a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I have not watched one show in Saudi Arabia. I won't watch one show that they put on in Saudi Arabia. I don't want anything to do with that country. They are a horrible human rights country. I don't want to hear this BS that Triple H says, "Oh, we're changing the culture." No, you're not. You ain't doing anything. You're sitting there. You're dealing with a regime that authored the freaking execution of a journalist because he said something bad about the Saudi king.
Yeah, it's just about money talking. That's all it is. Money talks.
Yep.
But that's the reason why it'll probably happen, and I'll give you an example why. Like, I know you don't, like, some of you don't follow like full like European football, but basically the Saudis are giving some of these big stars 300-400 million to go over and play there.
Yeah.
Right. They ain't going to sniff it offering WWE $1 billion, $2 billion to do a WrestleMania over there. But was it in money talks? You know.
Yeah. If it's enough, they'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't dismiss it. I don't think it's a good idea. You know, but don't dismiss it. I tell you what, if the Saudis want something, they'll pay for it. They always do. You know. So that's just a sad reality of it.
So while we got you on here, Alex, we have a question for you. Why do you keep your camera off most of the time?
Because in Scotland we only have 56k modems, and so it goes. And then you make for the.
That's an impressive modem imitation.
Yes.
Took me back to the 90s and AOL dial-up.
And if you get a, that means you've got a good connection. If you've got a, that means you're not getting connected. You need to try again.
Hey, Haney, do you still have it to where if you're trying to get online and you have a landline and they pick up the phone, do you get disconnected?
Yes. Me and Peter have had many fights all the time. She usually wins.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Ricky Starks is in the news. My God. It's apparent Ricky Starks is kissing WWE's ass because he was on a podcast last week and said the following. Starks defends Punk. He said, "You can't vilify someone for thinking differently from you." Oh, my God. Could you polish that apple any better than what you're doing currently right now, Ricky Starks?
This apple's for you, Triple H.
It's not the matter of vilifying someone with a different opinion. It's a matter of vilifying someone who takes action on that opinion.
Oh, my God. He is a moron. Oh, Ricky Stark. So, for those who don't know, Takeshita has been in the news talking about his time in America and how much he just hates it. He has said that he has lost his joy for wrestling while wrestling for AEW. Mind you, this guy has come off not one, but 2 victories over Kenny Omega. Okay. He's going to most likely beat Moxley to get a shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, he was complaining that he's not getting – he's kind of getting lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, not enough screen time was what he was complaining about.
There's something I want to talk about. So Conan has been reporting this bullshit.
Well, you can't say it's bullshit.
Well, I'm guessing.
You think it's bullshit.
I think, let me just say my opinion, that is bullshit. So now I'll say what it is. He's claiming that Tony Khan told everyone they're forbidden from watching WrestleMania or watching the Royal Rumble. And I don't buy that for a second.
That wasn't actually the full context of the conversation, though. And you know I've been telling you about Tony since I first started about what he was like. It was again. I know people at Fulham. You know, I worked with my former boss was involved as well. He was a sort of he's not a guy that doesn't like getting his own way. He likes to throw his toys at his pram. It's not a slight or a thing. You know, he wears his heart on his sleeve. You know, and sometimes he probably says stuff he doesn't mean. You know.
Yeah, but you don't buy
But-
this that he told them they can't watch the Royal Rumble.
Well, I know some of the stuff that's unmentionable on what was it unmentionable on here. What happened around Fulham just before EEW emerged? So it's maybe his dad's giving him money for EEW to just get him out of the way, just to shut him up.
No, but like you're gonna get
was-
morale down really low
Yeah.
if you're gonna say that.
Sorry.
I'm just saying that if Tony Khan said that, you're gonna cause morale to drop tremendously, and I don't think.
Well, you know, it depends. I'm not saying it's true, and I'm not saying it isn't true. You know, but what was it? I mean, Conan's not exactly a person for lying. He's, you know, what was it? And I don't think reading it, I don't think it's again in the context that it was said. We need to listen to the interview itself to fully get what the conversation was about, because it's a snippet out of something. The article that I read was a big long thing about. What was it? Dragon Lee going to WWE and beating FDR. What was it? And then it was a wee bit. Oh, and Elsie said this. You know. So, what was it? We don't know what was said before it. Context is always king for these sort of things.
Yeah, you can easily insert something else out of context. Like Tony Khan could have said that as a joke.
I don't buy that Conan did not know Dragon Lee was going to WWE when he put the tag titles, when he vacated the titles 2 minutes after winning them off of FTR.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why Tony Khan
buy that one bit.
Yeah. Which might have pissed him off.
We always like to end the show, the news segment, on the good news. Angelo Parker and Ruby Soho, who are in fact a real life couple, and Ruby Soho is carrying Angelo Parker's evil demon spawn. Turns out they're actually getting married. That's right. Congratulations. Mazel tov, if you will.
Are they married or getting married? Because there's been conflicting things online.
They got married last night.
Yeah,
they got married last
They
night.
did one of those shotgun weddings. Yeah.
It definitely comes off as one with Ruby being pregnant and everything.
So at this point, JB, are you knowing the symbols to get all these things up now?
I'm catching up on them. So I know that's for the hearts. And then that's for the laser beams. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Nope. Okay. Anyway.
It's hit or miss sometimes.
Thumbs up. Thumbs down.
Yeah, the thumbs up and thumbs down are pretty good.
What is this one for the? There you go, the fireworks.
Now, is it only you
what does that one do?
Yeah, it's only me. It's built into my laptop. So
no, I know, but what does that one do?
Hey, thumbs up.
Tie goes to the positive.
That's the end of the news, ladies and gentlemen, which means we have to get to our main event. And therefore, we have to bid farewell and adieu, if you will, to Sir Allegheny.
Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
See you later. Thanks for coming on, Alex. Good to see your face instead of this picture of
I put my ears on before I go.
Yeah, gotta get the ears on.
Bye.
It's Steamboat Willie.
Bye.
All right, let's get to the main event if you want to, but you have no choice. We're running the show here. Here's the main event. Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Oh, Lordy, we are in rare form tonight because we have a Rage in the Cage, the debate.
I like that picture of him. He looks like, what am I doing in jail? I'm mad. I'm giving the finger. I'm in jail.
I just don't take pictures very well. I don't ever like how I look in pictures. So it don't matter.
So let me start up by saying this.
Yes.
This is a friendly debate.
No, it's not. Oh, wait, no, we haven't started arguing yet.
Now, if I trust the JFB will call it right down the middle.
Yep.
I don't. No.
So the way this is going to work is this. For the first one, I'm going to pick who takes the pro, who takes the con of the question that I pose. Winner gets a point, loser gets 0 points. The winner gets to decide on the next round who's pro and who's con.
This is rough because like one of us could get saddled with something that we don't agree with. So you really got to step up with that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to take it. So I'm going to go for the first question. I'm going to go make it easy. I'm going to go Captain Canuck is going to be pro and EVP Joe is going to be con. First question. AEW's ratings have steadily declined over the last few months. Will this affect their upcoming TV deal? Canada Dry, you go first, pro.
Okay, so pro. What am I saying here?
So their ratings have steadily declined.
Yeah, so I'm saying that
they will or it won't.
That it will affect their TV deal. And then EVP Joe will say it will not affect the TV deal.
Okay.
So I'm taking the negative point of view, even though I'm pro.
Yes.
Damn it. Yeah, this definitely will affect their TV deal. I think it's going to affect not in the effect that they're going to get one, because they will get one, but it will affect the dollars, because when they signed up, they were getting close to $1 million.
Yeah.
And when they were here now, we're down about to 700,000 per Dynamite, but it's a new product.
Yeah.
So when at that beginning, it had that instant appeal, but you're going to get more money than you did at the beginning for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely think this is going to affect the bottom line. Your numbers are down. The popularity is down.
Yeah.
So like it's going to affect the bottom dollar 100%. And that's my opening statement.
Okay. EVP Joe.
Okay, so no, I don't think these ratings are going to affect it for a couple of reasons. For one, when this first started, TNT had the expectation of roughly 500,000 people per episode. They can consistently beat that number. TNT puts out press releases saying how overall it reaches 2 million people when you include DVR and other things like that. But to me, the biggest thing is TNT/TBS just lost the rights to the NBA. So they can't afford, like, with that, AEW is now their number one drawing thing. They're going to have to pay to keep AEW.
Yeah, because it ain't the Lazarus Project. That's
but how much are you paying? Are you paying more than you originally paid?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they are. Because honestly, to me, TNT has given up all their leverage just by saying we are more than thrilled with how AEW is performing and the fact that they lost the NBA. I think, me personally,
but it's not going to be as much as Tony Khan wants.
Well, I don't even know how much Tony Khan wants, so I can't say yes or no. But I do think they're absolutely going to get a raise on what they were before, especially considering they're now partnering up for this meal and a match, which shows there's definitely a trust in AEW.
The meal and a match is not a big thing. This is minuscule.
I mean, it is, though, because it's still partnering, adding in.
It's a YouTube show.
Understand, it's still a relationship builder, though.
Any retort, Canada Dry?
Yeah, I just think that the money wise, it's going to be affected. You can't drop in numbers and get a significant raise. You're going to get a raise. There's no doubt about that. But the significant raise, it's not there. You do have the leverage of being the only wrestling game in town now because the Netflix thing. That's where you got. Yeah. You don't got it because it's the number the best popular show. It's because it's the only game in town.
Okay. EVP, last retort.
I mean, he said it. It's the only thing in town. Of course they're going to have to pay for it.
Okay.
That's how it is. That's how supply and demand.
Oh, look at who's stealing my lines.
You put it out there.
You need to win this debate by stealing my lines. I see how it is.
Hey,
It's going to get down and dirty. You
remember,
guys left your knives and guns
EVP.
at home, right?
Evil. I never said anything about being honest and fair. It's evil, okay? Means I do what I got to do.
Not True SmackDown is on USA. I believe it's going to be on Netflix too, isn't it?
Nope, just USA.
Around the world, yes. In
Yes.
USA, SmackDown is on USA.
Yeah.
Which makes it interesting because they really focus on America when really it's not about America.
No.
Like when on American TV, they focus on America when it's not about America. The global deal is so much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't believe us, all you have to do is just watch Backlash from France. That was bonkers. It shows you exactly how strong and how powerful WWE is right now, because that brings me to my second question. But first, I'm going to go ahead and give Captain Canuck a point. Joe brought up some valid points, but I think Captain Canuck, talking about Canada Dry, talking about the Warner Brothers deal, of course, coming up, all that stuff. I'm going to give him a point, which means you're going to go with, you get to select pro or con on the next question. So we're up 1-0, and that's going to be this. WWE is firing on all cylinders right now. Their ratings have never been better since the Attitude Era at this point. Can we contribute this to Triple H? Is this all Triple H is doing? Canada Dry, you pick, pro or con?
I'm going, so con would be it's not Triple H is doing, right?
Correct.
I'm going with con.
Okay. Lay it on me.
All right. It's not Triple H because Triple H, he cannot book his way out of a paper bag. He does not have the wrestling mind. You brought in, someone like Bret Hart, you're going to have a way better. Like, imagine the booking Bret Hart would do. It would blow the thing away. I think it is simply because it's not Vince.
Okay.
The whole like sexual scandal.
Yeah.
It opened up. Okay, good peace and good vibes that Vince McMahon is gone. There's a new regime. And Triple H just happens to be the benefactor.
Okay. Right place, right time.
Yes.
Okay. Joe, it's up to you, my friend.
Well, of course you have to give Triple H the credit for the ratings. He's the one who's in control. He's the one who's bringing everybody back, that all the fan favorites back, brought back Bray. He attempted to bring back Bray Wyatt when everyone wanted him back. Brought back everyone that was fired, Johnny Gargano. Sat there, like, he's telling stories, like, they may be rehashed, but everything in wrestling is rehashed. But it's you're not seeing the 3-week pushes that you got under Vince. Triple H is like, we're doing this, and for good or bad, he sticks with it for the most part.
Captain Canuck, retort.
He had Mania. He had this pre-given to him on a silver platter. He had all this stuff that was already ready, like heat and go when you stick it in the microwave. He didn't cook up this stuff, slice it all up and make it. No, it was all ready to go. You just had to stick it in the microwave and beep, beep, boop, boop. It's done. He had this build up to Mania. He had all this stuff ready to go. He even dropped the ball on a year-long build on the Usos. Like, there's so much stuff that Triple H does not do well.
Yeah.
It's not outrageously like a good show. Right now, he didn't know what the hell to do after WrestleMania. It's this King of the Queen thing. That's evidence that Triple H does not know what the hell he's doing. This King of the Ring, King of the Wicked, like, and all these people dropping out. It's boring ass TV. That's what it is. He needed to come up with something big after Mania, and he didn't do it.
Okay. EVP, your final retort, my friend.
You still got to give Triple H credit because, like you brought up Vince. If Vince was here for the road to WrestleMania, I guarantee you it would have changed 50 times. He at least, with the exception of trying to get The Rock into the main event and I'll give them credit. They listened to the fans and gave us what we wanted. He stays the course.
What was that?
Okay. I'm gonna take them all, and I'm gonna come up with a decision. And my decision is this, which stands final. Joe gets the point.
Yes.
Brings up some valid points.
Okay, because I felt I lost that first one, so I'm able to trade you. You want to trade that first point for this one? You want to do a trade?
Yeah,
Sure, that's fine.
all right.
One money each. Okay, that's fair. Okay, Haney wants to comment, I think, on something I said. So
All right, bring him in.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Cat in the Dry is a Canuck idiot.
go Canucks, go! I also have the angel on my shoulder, the badass of the great ass here.
You do know that Sean and Triple H basically booked the initial part of the DX invasion. Vince threw his hands up and says nothing's working. There you go. And that was what came about. So to say Triple H can't book is not really true, because they guys
book.
had to,
I'm not saying he can't book. He can book, but it's just it's not consistently awesome, is what I'm saying.
But nothing can be consistent. As Jeff B elaborated to it, but was it everything? No, sorry, not Jeff B. Joe. Everything's been done before. You know, what was it called? To bring you back to what's happening in AEW just now, they're just rehashing the whole NWO thing. Think, you know what's going to happen at the pay-per-view? Darby's going to be late, and they're going to go. He's only going to come in and he's going to go, "What side's he on?" Oh, and then it'll be a heel, you know. But was it? That's wrestling, you know. But I think I've been a bit hard on what Triple H has done. If you look what he's done in the past,
listen, I just had to take a side and run with it. That's
yeah,
all.
you would have been a fanboy. You would have been
take a side and run with it.
You're being a Canuck idiot. I mean, what was it? Joe's AEW hardcore, and he's got it right. You know, he's got it right. You know, I mean, if you look at what Triple H has done,
I honestly think I won that round and lost the first one, so I'm okay.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go to
All
our.
right, we'll see if you want to comment on the next one after. Make some social commentary after. That's fine.
No, I'll just go now. You're Canuck idiot.
Go right to the sides.
Bye.
All right, Joe, you are in the precarious position, the number one position. Here's the question. Becky Lynch's contract is up in 2 weeks. Pro AEW or pro WWE? Where does she stay? Joe, you get the pick and go first.
I'm going to say she's sticking with the WWE.
Okay.
I'm saying she's sticking with WWE for multiple reasons. For one, her husband is in WWE, and he just signed a new massive deal. It would be kind of foolish to sit there and split up from your husband and not be able to see him when he's out touring and you're not. I mean, plus, she seems to me like a company person. They just put the title on her. They brought her back from vacation because Triple H was like, I don't like any of my other options. Please come back and be the face of our brand until Rhea comes back. Okay. Everything points to Becky is one of the cornerstones of the women's division in WWE.
Okay.
And honestly, like, I could see her fitting in AEW, but there's just so much going on right there. I think she would sort of just like bob around and float. I don't really know if there's any clear direction for her at that time.
Okay. Canada Dry.
This question is freaking killing me, JFB. You're killing me with this. She belongs in the place that will pay her the most money. It's all about dollars and cents. You, especially as a woman, you have a limited amount of time to make the most money possible. Yeah. Becky Lynch, what she got, like 5 years left in her?
Yeah, maybe if she's lucky.
Maybe
yeah.
at most. So if Tony Khan wants to hand her a blank check to say, come be our AEW Women's Champion, I think Becky would take the deal.
Yeah.
I think she would take it. If it's this outrageous number, I think you take it.
Yeah.
And I think she's smart for doing that if she does do that, because it's all about dollars and cents, especially for women, because you need to collect that. Imagine Becky Lynch at All In. How freaking cool. The crowd would go nuts.
I mean, the crowd would go.
Yeah. You could main event Becky Lynch versus Mercedes Moné at Wembley Stadium, and it would be incredible, especially as the women just showing that.
That might be true, but like you said, Becky has 2 weeks. There's no way Triple H is going to risk her showing up on AEW with any form of a women's title like Medusa did back in the 90s.
Yeah.
He is going to pay her. You say it's worth dollars and cents. I guarantee you, he's either going to pay her what she's worth or overpay to keep her in WWE.
Triple H does not own the company. Triple H cannot authorize these things. There's someone who can. Who's in charge?
Tony Khan.
Endeavor.
No, I've
Endeavor. Emmanuel.
Or something like that.
Yeah. So if Emmanuel does not think this makes sense to give her that Charlotte Flair's got a big check.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't. If he doesn't think to give her more than Charlotte Flair, I think there's a good chance she walks over to Tony Khan. Are you willing to pay me this much? You got to do it. You just don't sign blindly. This is the critical time to get that big payday, because you got a few years left in your career before you want to be a mother. How long can she let other people raise their kids? And you not only in AEW, you get more time to spend with your family.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay. Retort, Mr. EVP.
Didn't he just give a retort?
Yeah, he was retorting to my retort.
Okay.
I think my biggest point is I think Triple H has a little more influence than what we think behind the scenes. And with this newly formed company, I don't see them wanting to lose one of their top stars, especially to AEW, when she could just walk across to the other, especially with there's no 90-day compete because her contract is up. So,
okay. I've come to a decision. So I feel, to me, schedule means a lot to Becky Lynch. To be in your child's life, to have more time at home, not have to work 270 to 300 days out of the year, touring all over the world, when you can show up for Wednesday and maybe Saturday, and then have the rest of the time to be with your daughter, be with your husband, tour with him, So I'm going with Canada Dry. I'm going to stay with Canada Dry. I think Canada Dry.
You know what? I pulled that one out of my ass because I was not confident with that.
I was waiting for you to bring up that last point. I was like, is he really not going to say it?
Which part?
The last point you made. I don't even remember what it was, but
about being with the family.
Yeah, the family aspect,
that is a good little point that really helped me get over the edge.
All right, so Canada Dry, you are in charge and control of the board. Here it is. Was it best for business to put the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship belt on Jon Moxley? Pro or con? Canada Dry, you choose first.
Pro.
Go for it.
All right. To me, this is a smart business decision. You are lacking the star power.
Yeah.
In New Japan right now. You just lost Kota Ibushi. You just lost what's his name? The Rainmaker.
Ospreay, Okada.
Ospreay.
Okay, why?
You got New Japan fans tuning into AEW because of this. You can't tell me that some of these Will Ospreay fans, or these Okada fans, these Ibushi fans are not tuning in to see their favorites in AEW. They are. So to put it on John Moxley, to me, is a great business decision because it gets your brand out there to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And it makes this Forbidden Door pay-per-view a lot more interesting. And I know that they get, I believe they get a cut of that money. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be a big thing for him to lose that belt at New Japan, or sorry, Forbidden Door, where New Japan can rightfully take that crown back. But the exposure is there.
Yeah. Joe.
So I don't think it's as a great business move because, especially here in the States, the model for New Japan is mostly New Japan World. And I haven't heard or seen a direct correlation of subscriptions going up for New Japan World because Moxley is their world champion. We have, because I could give you stats, like when Jericho went over to New Japan, it broke records for how many people bought New Japan World subscriptions. And also, like, I don't think it's that great for business because with Moxley as your champion, he's not there full time. He's not on all the other shows. He's only there for the major shows. So it's really not gaining exposure for anybody.
Okay. You have a retort, Mr. Captain Canuck?
Yeah, well, it's not about subscriptions to New Japan World because their star power is down. They know this. They know they need to build new stars. So it's not about subscriptions. It's about laying the base of, hey, look, we're still here. We're still prominent. John Moxley is our champion. You know him. He was in WWE. He's now AEW. He's been the AEW champion like 3 times. So they're like saying, listen, this is our champion. He is international. We are international. We're still a big thing. And when they do have those other stars, that it's about survival, really, was what it is.
Okay. Retort, Mr. EVP.
I mean, you say it, once again, though, it has to be because if there's not a direct correlation of subscriptions going up, then it's really not great business for New Japan. Like, that's the only quantifiable number we can say if this was a success or not for New Japan, because New fans in Japan are very loyal. They're going to go to their New Japan shows. The reason you put this title on Mox is to grow your international base. But if you don't, I haven't heard, I mean, time will tell, but I don't know if Moxley is going to move subscriptions like that, like Chris Jericho did when he came over to fight Omega.
Well, let me also add this quickly, since you got 2 retorts last time. You don't know the final numbers on the subscription thing until the story's over. And that story will probably end at Forbidden Door. And that's where you finally get what's really going on here.
I mean, I understand, get that, but Forbidden Door doesn't really help New Japan. It's more helping AEW. It's an AEW pay-per-view.
It helps them because they get a cut.
Yeah. Okay. The point goes to Canada Dry. That was a really good point. I mean, it was well. It could have gone either way. I mean, personally, I don't think that belt should have left New Japan, but it puts eyes on the prize, and it gets people kind of jazzed to go. He's the IWGP champion. I'm gonna watch.
And I love the fact that Haney wants to come on and shit on what I just said. It's awesome.
Yeah, listen. You ruined my holiday here, Aaron. Yeah, you little smug prick. Let's get some facts straight about New Japan.
Please tell me, honey.
I will do. Yes.
I love that you're actually on the show rather than just your picture. It's great.
Do you want me to put my ears back on? Make it more serious?
Yes, I would love to. When you're gonna hand me this pile of shit you're gonna hand me right now. Do it.
Do it with the ears.
All right, lay it into me, buddy.
Okay. You're an
That's
idiot.
our judge over here.
So it's I think Joe should have got that point, to be honest. Because he made some actual factual statements about subscriptions and things like that. Now, the highest New Japan World subscriptions were way back in 2018, right around that time you mentioned, when Jericho, when that was there. Internationally, that was around the time where Jericho was there. Amaga was a champion and things like that. There were about 38,000 subscriptions internationally worldwide. Okay. But they're no longer anywhere. They're not anywhere near that. So if you know
And they
about
even lost one from you.
they even lost one from me. Yeah, I gave you my subscription to use for 2 months and you didn't use it. So
So you're like, screw it, I'm canceling it. Canada's not using it.
yeah, like Canada's not using it. So I'm bitching this, because I thought I'd let you see some real wrestling for a change, but you didn't bother. So
it's like you didn't see no logins from Canada. What the hell, Canada Dry?
yeah. So it made me lose my train of thought now. Thank you. Yes. So the interesting thing about Japan and knowing some people some fans in that as well. The fan base over there aren't exactly happy with the way things are going. They feel that, and the Japanese fan base tend to want everything to sort of stay.
Isn't that nice that you finally got a face?
I know.
You grew it overnight. It was amazing. You used your 3D printer.
Yeah, I know. Just let somebody just a bit of mail in Disney. I'm melting. But yeah, it was the Japanese fans are not a fan of international wrestling, just like Canada Dry isn't a fan of Japanese wrestling. So
I love Japanese wrestling. It's the best ever.
Name 5 Japanese wrestlers.
Your mom.
All right, that was a terrible joke. That was a terrible joke.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's go to our.
They're not always the best. They're not always.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next topic.
All right.
Can I stay on just to bash Aaron?
Yeah, come on back and bash me some more. I love it.
I'll just stay on. I'll just stay like this.
I eat it up.
Oh. Let's go to our next one, and that is this. Canada Dry, you have the ball. You're on offense.
Wait. Haney's got to go. He's got to go. He come back after. You're in this debate interrupting us.
I'm not here.
Okay, if you say one thing during this debate. Yeah.
All right, Canada Dry, you get to pick. Who is the best tag team of all time? Dudley Boys or FTR?
I'm going with the FTR. All
right. Lay it on me, brother.
Joe was like, I'm taking this simply just to hear him argue on behalf of the Dudley Boys. FTR are the greatest tag team in the world right now. You got them doing they won the New Japan titles. They won the AAA titles. They won the Ring of Honor titles. They didn't even win the AEW titles that year, and they were stacking up gold on their shoulders. It was pretty cool to see them be the top team last year without the AEW titles.
Yeah,
I thought that was so brilliant, and Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, they're just this fundamental team that brings it every time. So you got these guys who are pretty much guys who bump through tables on the other side. They're just guys who take bumps and they go like, come on. Come on, that's the other option.
Yeah.
And smash, get the tables, Bubba. Or sorry, you don't get the tables.
EVP Joe, lay it on me, brother.
27 world championship reigns all around the world. WWE, ECW, New Japan, Impact, I think they had the WCW titles. Like they've held titles. The
They
Dudley
did not
Boys
have the
have.
WCW titles.
I don't remember if they did during the invasion or not. But either way, they have won world titles around the world on an even larger scale than FTR. And they've been doing it a lot longer than they were doing it a lot longer than FTR. And they were doing it at a time where it wasn't commonplace to where you could hold multiple titles at once because there wasn't really traveling around the world like what there is now. And on top of that, the Dudley Boys are part of what a lot of people consider the greatest three-way tag team match of all time with the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. There's a reason why they're in the Hall of Fame for the WWE. I think they're in the Impact. I think they're in Hall of Fame in TNA. There's a reason why these guys are regarded as one of the greatest modern day tag team championships. They have the resume to back it up.
To give you a fine example, they have won tag team championships.
Hey, wait! You can't be doing this. You're in the moderator.
Oh my God!
You can say it after.
Woo! All right, retort, Captain Canuck.
Okay, so you got a team that's retired, pretty much essentially retired. You got a team that's still rolling and winning championships. Not only that, they're the models for backshaves.com. Like, come on. They probably put out the funniest gimmick in WWE history.
Yeah.
Back shaving. Like, they created a whole industry.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like when they're done, it will be FTR up here and the Dudley Boys down there when it comes to championships and that legacy.
I don't know. FTR only has like 2 or 3 years left wrestling as a tag team. They've already come out and said this contract is their last as an active tag team.
And you also look at the Dudley Boys, and they had a 5-day runs as champions. Like a lot of really short runs as champions.
But yeah, right, Joe. The Dudleys have won championships in Australia, so down there they have. But was it been successful?
Yeah. Okay. I've come up with my thing, and the Dudley Boys have won in All Japan. They have won in TNA. They have won in New Japan. They have won in WCW titles. They have won.
They have not won the WCW titles.
No, they did. It's one time. The invasion angle.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then not even including the like 35,000 titles they've won in ECW.
The one did you count the ones they held for 5 minutes? Like all those ones?
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm going to give Joe the point. So we are up 3 points for Canada Dry, 2 points for EVP. Joe, I got 2 more questions. Here we go.
Balloons.
Did-
Do you want to say anything here, Alex?
No, it's a difficult one. That's probably the hardest one to debate that you've had. But was it because
it is hard because they had that finished, and you don't know how, and it's hard to judge, like how you're booked.
Oh yeah, this was probably the hardest debate out of all of these. The hardest topic. I agree.
Yeah.
So
It's like comparing sort of what was it, Jordan to LeBron, you know. What was it? If you ask modern day basketball fans, they would say it was LeBron hands down. But you know, you don't take into consideration the sort of what was it, the path that Jordan paved for everybody else to be in that position, you know. So, and that's what the Dudleys did with tag team wrestling, you know. So it's hard to
Yeah,
judge.
the greatest wrestlers, a lot of them never even had belts.
Yeah.
They didn't get no championships.
Let's be honest. Michael Jordan didn't have to leave Cleveland or Chicago in order to win an NBA championship. LeBron did. Just saying. Michael Jordan, greatest of all time.
Oh, look at I personally prefer FDR, but the Dudleys Revolution Tag Team Wrestling with the TLC.
Yeah. All right, let's go to our next one. Joe, you're going to be in charge. Did Tony Khan pull the trigger on Undisputed Kingdom too early, knowing that MJF was going to need time off for injuries? Pro or con, Mr. EVP?
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Because I can't hear anybody and everyone else is frozen. So I'm going to jump out for a second. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Can we have some interluding music?
Look at this guy. Throw some money at him.
Beautiful singing. Beautiful singing. Joe's back. Joe.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I didn't hear the topic you were talking about. I heard nothing.
Okay. Did Tony Khan pull the trigger on Undisputed Kingdom too early, knowing that MJF was going to need time off for injuries? Pro or con?
So I'm arguing pro would be he did, con would be he didn't.
Correct.
Well, I'm pro because
Okay.
he absolutely pulled the trigger on this way too soon. The whole crux of this story was Adam Cole and MJF.
Yep.
And everyone knew MJF was going to go out, and Adam Cole was already injured. So your two people that this whole story revolves around isn't available. I think that we've said this before, like Tony Khan may be able to come up with stories, but he's not very good at pivoting around injuries.
Yeah.
So I think this should have been held off for a little bit until they were both ready to go. You still could have ran with the devil, had him cause MJF the title, but just not reveal it at that pay-per-view, and you would have been fine.
Okay. Captain Canuck, your turn.
All right. So, obviously, I got to take the other side. So, I got to hold on. I got to pull a rabbit out of my ass here. So basically, Tony Khan got painted in a corner booking wise because of these injuries.
Mm-hmm.
He had the devil gimmick going. It was a cool story, but because of injuries, the whole thing got screwed up. So you had to finish up that story. You had to. He had no choice. So he had to bring the Undisputed Kingdom there.
Okay.
So I don't think he didn't. He had to do what he had to do. You got it there. And then you have the MJF Cole story later on. Because it's all about long-term storytelling. So you can finish this story later. Because you still have the friendship that they had and the betrayal. And that's all it's about. And you still have that no matter what. So this is an all-in story.
Okay. EVP Joe, do you have a retort?
Yeah, I don't think you didn't have to finish this because you're not finishing anything. If anything, you're starting something with the reveal as Adam Cole as the devil. You could, I'll even give it to you. You could have done just Taven, Bennett, and Strong as a group until it was time to reveal Adam Cole as the devil to then become the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah.
It didn't work. And you could tell because everyone was disappointed by what happened afterwards.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Undisputed Kingdom has been an afterthought completely and utterly since they've debuted.
So where he didn't debut them too soon, he didn't push them correctly, which is totally different. So debuting him at that time is completely fine. He needed to set that up all-in thing for Cole and MJF. He needed to do that. He needed the reveal. Let me finish. So he needed to do that. He needed to set that up. He needed to have the betrayal. And they even said that first night on Dynamite. We vanquished MJF. You will never see him again. So when he comes back, it's like this moment. And the failing of Tony Khan is not booking them too soon and bringing them and creating them too soon. It's that he's not having them run amok, causing destruction everywhere.
Well,
That's what he needed to do.
That goes with debuting them too soon because
not at all. Because you can still cause run amok without.
Am I supposed to be impressed that MJF, the most uber over babyface, comes back and destroys the United Kingdom? I mean, Undisputed Kingdom when
he's destroyed the United Kingdom. He needs to go back there after.
When they haven't been taken seriously, like how am I supposed to?
We haven't been taken serious for the last 200 years, Joe, so it doesn't really matter.
I misspoke. My bad. I did not mean to offend a whole section of the world. My bad. My apologies.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna give this one to Joe. Joe is very convincing. I mean, I think it's.
Why do I smell a setup for a tiebreaker at the end on purpose?
What? No, me? Never.
He's not told you yet. I'm picking the winner. I'm joking.
I mean, I would never do anything like that. Audience, do you agree? No.
Why do I? This is late night with the devil going on.
Yeah. So.
You gotta get his Haiti out of the mouthpiece and leave us there.
Yeah, I love it.
You got Liam. Do you know how big this guy is? He's a big guy.
Yeah.
You can bring in Scott Cater into your group. You got enough representation over there.
Oh, Scott Cater be this little fly buzzing around.
He's the Leo Rush of the group.
Yeah.
So, just before you move on, just to lay some context of what happened at All In, changing everything with CM Punk. We don't know where that story was going to go because we had lots of like sort of dangled carrots that were going on. We had obviously what was it? The stuff with MGF and Punk had already sort of happened, you know, but you had this real EEW champion, and you had MGF who was the EEW champion, and you had the real EEW champion. So somewhere down the line, I think they were obviously going to have to meet. So I think that's where that was where that story was going to go ultimately. So I don't think that. I think when the Punk thing happened, everything changed and everything just got flung at what was up against the wall. Probably. And what was it? They didn't know where to go after that. You know, they probably knew at that point. They probably had what was it? Okada and what was it? Ospreay and that coming in. So what was it? I think they were just sort of everything just gets like. With the Punk thing and then Adam Cole getting injured, I think everything just got muddled up and messed up. But you probably think that was probably going to be teased. I think that Punk was the guy that was the devil, but it was obviously going to be Adam Cole eventually. But they were going to tease it to be Punk. That's what I think was going to happen. It would have been interesting to see what happens and how it played out. But unfortunately,
the devil was going to be at the beginning.
Sorry.
I don't think after the Punk thing, I don't think they knew who it was at first.
I think Cole was always going to be the devil. I think what was it? They were going to tease Punk being the devil, but I don't think it was ever going to be the devil. That was my theory on it.
Okay.
You know, and then Jack Perry's sitting there as well. So where was he going to be after that as well? He probably fitted in that little group because he was a little weasel, you know. So,
Bobby the Brain Heenan's son.
Don't insult Bobby the Brain Heenan's offspring like that.
All right, my last and final question for the day. Joe, you are on the offense. You get to select. We're doing the coin flip. Flip came to Joe. Joe, Damian Priest recently on a podcast talked about how today's product is better than any era of wrestling in the history of wrestling. There are two eras. The Attitude Era / the Monday Night War era versus the era that we're currently in today. Guys like The Rock have said, wrestling has never been harder as it is today. So my question is, Joe, are you going to take the Attitude Era or are you going to take the current era as the best era for professional wrestling in terms of popularity, in terms of just overall viewership, stuff like that?
This is a tough one.
Come on, dance with us.
I'm going to take today.
Okay. All
Now,
right.
I will
Canada
admit,
Dry's
and I
one.
will concede this point, that the numbers on like for Raw isn't hitting the peaks of what it did at the Attitude Era.
Mhm.
But when we talk about viability, the availability, and everything else, you have WWE now, you have AEW. New Japan has become a much bigger global item. It's easier access with all the different internet options.
Yeah.
And I would say personally, like the wrestling is better now than it was then. Looking back at it, other than like your Austins and your Rocks, if you watched Raw, you got 30-second matches where everything ended in either DQ or a run-in for 3 hours straight on Raw. And then WCW, shout out to Mr. Rockstar AFW, is the worst run organization by Mr. Eric Bischoff, who couldn't get his hole out of the ground for a long time, even though he was able to beat WWE for 83 straight weeks.
Was that why he was advertising Bluetooth?
So, yeah, I will take today. And even, like you said, you have The Rock saying wrestling is never as hot as it is right now. And he was 1B of the Attitude Era. Some might say 1A with Stone Cold. If you have one of the biggest
1C is more like it.
If you're having one of the biggest stars from the Attitude Era say today is bigger and better than it was in the 90s, I don't know how you argue it.
Okay. Canada Dry, your retort, my friend.
All right. This is the famous WWE line. This is going to be the biggest show of all time. It's their line they always say.
Yeah.
Today's wrestling is the best. It's just this thing they say. They say things like they have this even the greatest match ever. It wasn't the greatest match ever. They just say things like that.
Yeah.
You have the era that everyone is copying right now, where you had the greatest wrestlers of all time. They're still copying Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. You have the guy LA Knight who's copying both The Rock and Stone Cold. What? Not only that, you still have the Attitude Era popping up every single week with what? People are still doing it. It's still lasting.
Just so you know, Canada Dry, Fiona just looked round in disgust at your comment there because she's a big LA Knight fan. So the next time she sees you, she's going to punch you in the face.
Okay, that's good. Let me finish. I'll take the punch. But yeah, it's no question. The numbers were just there. Everything, obviously, the timing is different now, but everything is still copying the best wrestlers. Bret Hart is still featured on AEW and WWE because he has that lasting power. And everyone wants to copy Bret. Drew wants to copy Bret. FTR wants to copy Bret. They're not copying. It's just not the same. And the wrestlers, they're like kids compared to what they used to be.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what they used to be was steroided out freakheads. Now you got guys who are actually able to wrestle for more than 5 years because they're not abusing their body like they used to. It's just today.
I'll have you know that Hulk Hogan went on the Arsenio Hall show and said, "I do not do steroids."
Sir,
no, but like,
how
you
many
still have people using.
How many channels has this channel done where the famous lies of Hulk Hogan?
No, but seriously, you still have people doing the drugs and getting big. You still have that. It's still there.
It's not nearly as rampant as it.
No, it's not because the product has changed to be because you know why? Bret and Shawn. That's why.
No,
not
it's changed
it's because of Bret and Shawn.
Vince McMahon got caught and got sued by the federal government.
Yes, and Brett and Sean picked up the ball and gave us what we have today.
And that's the only reason why those two got that chance. And I know you're the biggest Brett fan, and I'm one of the biggest Sean fans. But if it wasn't for Vince going and getting sued by the federal government, Brett and Sean never make it past the IC title. And that's a fact. And I love, and it is what it is. Every time Vince has ever
wait till it's over.
Anytime Vince has ever gotten in any kind of trouble, he went back to what we would call the wrestlers. 90s was Shawn.
Okay, what you're saying is absolutely true, but it does not bear witness on the fact that the Attitude Era and Brett and Sean created the era we have now. So therefore, setting the precedence that it's
they may have
bigger, better era.
They may have created it, but these guys do it better.
No way in hell.
Yes.
Wow. This is gonna be tough. I might have to go to Haney. Haney, pick a winner, dude, because I can't choose. I mean, I know who I want to win, but I can't.
Oh, you're putting on me?
What? I just want to get screwed here. That's all. If I lose, I lose. That's all. That's all. I want my victory to stand on its own merit.
Well, what was it? I have to go with Joe because the Attitude Era, to me.
Yes, that's fine. It's about my argument, not about what you think about the thing.
No, well, it's based on. It has to go. It has to go by.
Is it based on the argument that I made versus the argument that he made? Who made the better?
If we're going on, it's bigger. Then, what was it? Then you have to go. You have to go with Joe because the Attitude Era had the Rock and Austin. That was it. Austin was the moneymaker. The current era, whether people like it or not, you've got Roman Reigns, you've got Cody Rhodes. You know, the whole bloodline thing. LA Knight was selling ridiculous amount of T-shirts last year. You know, and we're not even like, what was he? CM Punk who came back to WWE, the big massive business for him. You know, that was if we're not talking about product and what was it? The wrestling's better now than it was back then. What was it? I mean, I grew up in the Attitude Era, but for me. The problem with that.
I'm not counting his decision here because this is not.
I mean, I'll make the decision. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. You can't learn from history if you don't learn from history. You're going to doom to repeat it.
Yeah.
Ask the kid. This kid's flunking history. He's going to have to take it in summer school. So trust me, if you don't learn from history, by God. You're going to repeat it. The Attitude Era, I think, is what wrestling in the zeitgeist. And you had a little downage time until AEW kind of jumped up and said, hey, we're going to start a revolution. And they did because they made wrestling hot again. And then WWE decided at the back end, we got to go with what works. And right now, we have to compete with AEW. We got to put our best foot forward. But it's all because of the Attitude Era. You're right. If it wasn't for Sean, if it wasn't for Brett during that dark time, I don't know if we would ever have wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I have to disagree with the GFP. Now I'm getting my retort.
All right. Let me just say this.
Why
don't we call this whole thing a tie, and we're going to come back, and we're going to do it all again with a third judge in the final.
I like it. I like it.
So we tied. High five.
High five.
Other way. There we go.
I'm just going to say, I absolutely enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Glad we were able to keep it pleasant, and we're still friends after this.
Yes.
Yep. Nobody's going to go ahead and get a hurt by.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to say that Canada's right. I hate you as much as I hated you before the tour started. So I really appreciate that.
You love me. I'm your favorite.
And I'm just annoyed that you actually went to the Attitude Era and didn't go for the greatest era of wrestling of all time.
I didn't have a choice. He got to pick.
That is the Eva Marie era of wrestling. What an era that was!
Do you know who really loves Eva Marie?
Oh,
is Elvis Martinez, Barnboy. So you are thinking on the same level as Barnboy. So I have a question: do you also sneak into the house when the sun goes down? looking for treasures that can't be found
So,
or shouldn't be found. Sorry.
better question. Since you're such a big Eva Marie fan, who did it better, Eva Marie or Tony Storm last night?
What was the robe sort of thing?
Yeah, with the stripping down and using the flag as the robe and everything.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Yeah, I've got to say, Eve Marie, she's so much better.
Yeah.
It was definitely weird with the Serena Deeb and her. It's like Serena Deeb didn't know what to think of it all. Like it didn't fit with her character.
Yeah.
But maybe that's part of the awkwardness of it. That was probably why it sort of happened. You know. Yeah.
She's all about the work and the wrestling, and she's and Tony Storm's all about the gimmick and the silliness and just like so.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are at the end of our show, which means I got to hawk some stuff. Like, for instance, you want to give us money? Hey, there's easy ways to do it. Down below in the descriptions is all the links that you can go. You can write us a big fat check. You can write us a comment and leave a buck or two. There's multiple ways to give us money. But if you really want to give money and show how much you love the All Effing Wrestling Show, or any of our other podcasts, or any of our other products, then there's one way to do it. I mean, you can go ahead and get the effing middle finger shirt, because let's be honest, that's the shirt that launched everything. It was our first shirt. I think Canada Dry might do it better than the Then, of course, we have this one. That's right. We have the All Effing Wrestling Show shirt.
And you know what that shirt is good for? It's good for belly busters.
Yes, it is.
And if you want to see a bigger set of boobs on television, tune into EEW on Wednesday and watch the Young Bucks segment.
Your glasses are crooked.
Oh my God. And anyways, we have this shirt as well. We have that shirt as well. We got a multiple assortment of shirts. All you have to
do you guys want a Natalia Markova t-shirt or signed autograph?
Yeah.
Well, if you go to her inbox, you tell her, I want a signed 8x10.
Yeah.
You can support her by picking up a Natalia Markova shirt or an 8x10 autograph. She'll even like put the lipstick on it for you if you want it. It's a little bit extra, but she'll do that.
What about us people in the UK? Does she send 10x8s?
10x8s. I don't know what those are.
It's an 8x10 turned sideways.
Oh, okay. So UK sort of, they got weird things like pounds and fish and chips.
Yeah. Real people.
Anyway,
they like to drink tea in the afternoon for some reason.
Yes.
You can go to ProWrestling.com/effing wrestling to get all of your effing wrestling. And we got new shirts that are getting ready to come out. You know, we might be having a take on a very popular mouse. We may have a take on a very popular fast food restaurant. There's a
we got Ninja Turtles. We got all sorts of stuff. We got a bunch of pop culture t-shirts that are coming out.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be hot. Now, if you like old school wrestling, he was on last year's edition of the Dark Side of the Ring. We're talking about Adrian Adonis. We've had an author of his autobiography on the show. All you need to do to get this shirt and any other Adrian Adonis shirt is by going to ProWrestlingTees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get all of your Adrian Adonis gear. Now, on behalf of, while his team is still in the playoffs, Canada Dry, the Canucks fan, on behalf of EVP Joe, on behalf of Alex Haney, I am unfortunately a Boston Bruins fan. I'm out of the playoffs, but I am the JFB.
So, I was going to say this. When your team gets knocked out and you get all depressed, you can spiral out of control, but it's okay because it's all right to be down. It's not okay to stay down. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, reach out to us. We'll help you pick you up, dust yourself off, raise your fist in the air, put the devil in a sharpshooter, and just keep fighting.
I love it. Hit it. This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.